that is the central theme that we're talking about here, is that with everything going on in the world, with the economy the way it is, and with things as bad as they seem to be, the problems that we see today and the problems we see coming down the road, how you invest around that is really, really difficult. It's really challenging. And so we see a lot of people that they're throwing their investment capital into real estate, not really understanding why or how best to do that.
Well, I think what's going on that most people are unaware of is that inflation is rearing its head in property value. So people are going out and artificially inflating property value, just like we did in 05, 06.
Sure.
If we're not careful, we're going to repeat that.
Yeah, it kind of feels like we're getting
Absolutely
back to where we were right before the
the biggest telltale sign is when you have multiple offers at or above listing price.
Sure.
When you get into that market, you better be sure that you know what you're buying, because what you may be buying is an overpriced asset, and those don't produce. Everyone understands that. So it's knowing how to buy, when to buy, and what you're buying.
Sure.
And that's the biggest problem I see people getting into, is they hear real estate's the way to go, so anything that has any type of shine to it,
Sure,
they want to run to it, and
anything
that's not
with
the
the
best
roof.
approach. Absolutely.
Yeah, so we have a similar situation to the 80s in my mind with real estate. We have a situation where the credit markets are frozen, banks aren't lending the money out because of the criteria. A lot of it has to do with regulation. Dodd-Frank changed a lot of the lending practices of banks, making it a little bit more restrictive for these loans, which is a good thing. But people still need to get into homes. They still need to move and live somewhere. And so there's this vacuum for financing, for funding for projects in real estate. And that's where private equity comes into play.